All right, so in this video, we're gonna tap into the pros and cons of living in Shadyside. Are you ready? Let's make it happen. So, pro number one is it's so cool to tell your friends or your business associates. It's so cool to say these following words. Are you ready? Well, let's meet at Shadyside. Now that may be, let's meet at Shadyside for lunch. Let's meet at Shadyside for dinner. Let's meet at Shadyside for a date. Let's meet at Shadyside for a drink. Let's meet at Shadyside for a cigar. Let's meet at Shadyside for a business meeting. The Shadyside is not ultra snobby, but it definitely is for more of an elite crowd. It's a very quaint feeling place. It just has a good feeling there, especially, I mean, more so in the warmer weather than in the inclement weather when you can walk outside a little bit. Speaking of walking, it's super walkable. One of the flattest spots in Pittsburgh, I would say. I'm a big bicycle fan, so I take my electric bike up there, tie it up, and go jogging around Shadyside. And it's a fantastic place to jog outside and check out because of all the old houses and the old architecture. And the last thing of bullet point number one is it has some very unique shops and kind of upscale boutique. As usual, I guess because I'm a Pittsburgher, I have such a hard time coming up with cons and my pros cons videos because there's just so much good stuff. And I think that speaks to the city of Pittsburgh. It's a good thing where you have too many pros and not enough cons. So I desperately try. I've been told by my coaches to get equal amount of pros and cons. I just can't. There's just so many good stuff. But I'm going to give you con number one. Con number one is if you don't live there, it's just not super easy or convenient to get there. You know, just getting there quickly or easily, it takes a little bit more time. It's just not possible. So you have to get off the highway and go through this road, that stoplight, this one way, blah, 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 blah. So I know I probably sound like a spoiled little brat, but again, I'm struggling to get cons. But when you're there, it's amazing. So a pro number two, I'm really excited about, and it's going to be the restaurant scene in Shadyside. First one, which is my favorite, is called Con Alma, which means with soul. This place is Latin and Mediterranean feel, and the reason why I like it is it has live jazz every night. They even have some local Pittsburgh jazz artists, which is really cool. So while you're eating, there's live jazz. Now, the food itself has dishes inspired from Latin, South American, Mexican, and Caribbean style. You can't go wrong there with the food, and the cocktails are good too. The next restaurant is called Girasoli. So this is more of a rustic Italian style. They do have some live music on certain nights. I'm a big fan of live music. Picture walking into the wine cellar of a nice Italian villa. Sitting down. Server comes over to you, asks you what you'd like to drink, what type of vino. That is a little picture of Girasoli. Next restaurant that I've had a lunch meeting there that I love, the atmosphere is super cool, it's called Casbah. Yes, like Rock the Casbah. For you younger kids, Google it. It's a Mediterranean with a wine bar, and the space there is very modern. It's kind of Art Deco-ish, nice open floor plan. The bar there is very, very cool. So Casbah, you want to check that out. There's a place there called Stacked. Stacked is a good place, not that high-end luxury. You just want to go grab a burger. You can create your own burger, all different types of meats, etc., toppings, etc. There's TVs set up. You can watch sports events, like a gastropub, if you will. For the reviews on Google, got a 4.2 out of 5. The next place is called The Yard, and it's more of a gastropub, kind of like Stacked. I would say Stacked is here, and The Yard is like right above it, just a smidge above it. Stacked's a little bit more industrial inside, I would say. So The Yard is pretty cool. It has like brick walls, TVs all over the place. I've actually been there to watch different sports events. So con number two is, before I tell you, I hit the subscribe button and tap the bell and get all notifications. You're not gonna wanna miss any of these videos. Wait till you see the last point I'm gonna make in this video. Anyway, con number two, housing is expensive there. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time, I'm not gonna whip out a lot of stats on this con because I'm gonna direct you to an upcoming video titled Real Estate in Shadyside, Pittsburgh. How much does it cost to buy a home in Shadyside? So you're gonna wanna keep an eye out. That's the reason why you hit subscribe, click the bell, and you'll watch the entire video, because I'm gonna point you to other videos, reference other videos that are gonna be super duper important to any decision making you're gonna make about Pittsburgh or Shadyside or wherever I'm talking about. Okay, pro number 3 is coffee houses in Shadyside. Who doesn't love coffee? Okay, so we have CTR Coffee Tree Roasters. CTR. It's a standard coffee house selling beans you could take home, along with some pastries and gifts. Now you can eat and drink there as well inside, but you can also take it home. Next place is Ada Coffee House, ADA. So this is a contemporary chic, internationally sourced beans with organic teas and light bites. Of course, we do have a Starbucks. We do have a Brugger's Bagels. There's Eraviste Coffee Bar, which is a contemporary coffee bar serving a little higher end coffee beans. There's a place called Jitters Cafe. So it's a bright, understated place serving coffee, tea, flavored sodas, pastries, and ice cream. One of my favorites if you know me. All right, so con number 3 is there's a lot of old money in Shadyside. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of old money in any old city. Shadyside is definitely some of that old money, old big houses. One of the posts or comments I read online was, if you don't like people with old money, Shadyside's not for you. So I can't say I run into this too terribly much, but I know there is definitely some big money there, and you will see in my video coming up, Real Estate in Shadyside, Pittsburgh. Again, I'm struggling to come up with cons. There's just so much good stuff about Pittsburgh and Shadyside. All right, so pro number 4, and I think a lot of people are gonna really relate to this and like this, is there's a lot of brand name groceries. First one is Tokyo Japanese food store. We have the big ones, Trader Joe's. You know, the neighboring neighborhoods are only like 60-second walk away. So if you live in Squirrel Hill, even though it's in Shadyside, it's not terribly far. We have a local Pennsylvania supermarket called Giant Eagle. There's also the Shadyside Market and Deli, a nice quaint place if you don't want one of those big field type supermarket style foods, or if you're looking for something specific. So there's the Soul Mart. Lastly, there's Bombay Mart. So you can see they're all in Shadyside. And so obviously Shadyside serves as a multicultural area. Again, any of the neighborhoods in Pittsburgh, you're real close to. So Friendship Park, Oakland, Regent Square, Squirrel Hill, I mean, they're all like a 10-minute drive, maybe a 5-minute walk. So Pittsburgh's very multicultural, and those are just some of the food marts that I thought I want to bring to your attention. All right, so my last con is con number 4. You could run into some, drunken 20-year-olds, which could be a good thing. It could be entertaining. I can't say I've ever heard of anybody being beaten up, stabbed, or raped or anything in Shadyside. So even these drunken people are kind of under control. So that's my last con. Okay, so the last pro I'm gonna talk about is, you might not think this is gonna be on there, but hotels. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is Shadyside Inn. It's got a 4.4 rating out of 5 on Google. Now this one here is gonna be more of a hotel feel than an upscale boutique. Second one I'm gonna talk about is the Mansions on 5th. Now, just by the name, you can tell it's not gonna be a standard hotel type feel. It is definitely an upscale boutique style hotel that is operated by a local company called the Priory, which also operates the Priory Hotel and the Grand Hall at the Priory. So you're definitely going to want to check them out if you're coming into Pittsburgh. The last one I want to talk about is the Inn on Negley. This is really cool. This is an upscale Victorian bed and breakfast. Super cool, right? So here you can enjoy an afternoon with tea, wine and cheese tray, or even in-room massages at this bed and breakfast. Okay, so that is my pros and cons of Shadyside. As always, drop me a comment below if you like it, if you don't like it, if you have suggestions, if you want to hear me do a video on something else. Again, interaction, I'd love to hear from you.